is to diminish us on the world stage and head towards, some kind of globalist something.
Yeah,
I don't know what form that is.
Well, see,
So,
I look at it this way, Karen, is that the fact that at the root of Obama's ideology is Alinsky socialism, which is getting inside the system, taking the system over, and then destroying the system and rebuilding it. And in doing that, he can create a society, in his mind. The guy's a legend in his own mind. The idea that he could create, he can rebuild the middle class. He can restore America. All the words that they use. And basically what we're talking about, fundamentally transforming the United States of America. You can't do that in the foreign theater. That has to be done domestically. So the idea is how much damage can he continue to inflict that would cause our system of government and capitalism to implode, to justify government taking everything over, just like Hitler did. I mean, there's the comparison. This guy actually got them to suspend their constitution and their laws and said, you got carte blanche, do whatever you want to do. And look how that turned out.
But he didn't want it to implode. That's I always point out, Obama wants the U.S. to fail. And in that way, he's very different from Hitler in that Hitler wanted a stronger Germany. He wanted a bigger Germany. He wanted Germany's tentacles everywhere. He believed in the Aryan nation, in that sense.
Right.
Where Obama wants to destroy us in order to, international socialism could well be.
Yeah. The UN is Obama's goal. That's my point.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Okay. Hey, look, we got to do a commercial here again, and we're going to come back and continue our discussion with Karen Siegemund from Rage Against the Media, Joe Hakos from Dryer Report. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You can catch all our show archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. Since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish and get the best deal in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call Go Dish to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. Less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Okay, hey, we're back right here on the Conservative Syndicate. I am John Matthews, your host, man, prophet of the airways, on a mission from God, and that mission is to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. I've got Karen Siegemund from Rage Against the Media with us and Joe Hakos from Dryer Report. We left the conversation at this idea that I've had, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's just not something I willingly like to think that I actually think about on a consistent basis, but I do. Just because I don't see anything out of the realm of possibility anymore, that perhaps this is one of the elements, the rise in violence here across the nation, perpetuated by, of course, the activist community, to bring about justification of some type of coup. I don't know. I just, as an American, it's just hard for me to even wrap my head around that. But, it has happened in other countries. And I think our forefathers were very understanding of the possibility of that when, Franklin said, hey, you got a republic as long as you can keep it. So obviously they had enough insight to know that it could be lost. So anyway, having said all that, what I wanted to do at this point, I kind of want to veer off the subject here for a second, Karen, and I wanted to hear about your trip on Monday. You went and saw Rick Perry?
I did. I lead an amazing life. Yes, Rick Perry was in town. Yesterday he introduced Marcus Luttrell at the Reagan Library. I did not go to that talk, but Marcus Luttrell is the lone survivor of the movie by that name.
Uh-huh.
The one guy left in, I frankly don't remember if it was Iraq or Afghanistan. So before the Reagan Library event, there was a meet and greet at somebody's house not far from the Reagan Library. And I, yet again, had the opportunity to say hello to Governor Perry, and he addressed us, and he's outstanding. I think he's just an unbelievable human, a great man. He was a fabulous governor, and should he decide to run, aside from his oops moment, where apparently he was still on pain meds from back operation, to me, I think I've said this before, he's the one I like.
Okay,
I like the idea of him in the White House more than anybody.
He has not announced that he's going to run yet, has he?
Correct. He has not announced.
Okay. Did he give any indicators, any clues?
Just in how he speaks, as presidential, talking about the U.S. and what we need to make to restore us to greatness, and why the globe needs a strong United States, and how you win wars and how you don't win wars, which is what Obama is doing, and how he radiates Reagan-esque foreign policy ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him speak so many times. I saw him at the Reagan on the 50th anniversary of Reagan's A Time for Choosing speech, and he radiates that more than anybody.
I'm not even waiting. I'm not even paying much attention to what's going on right now. Just thinking that the media really isn't going to heat up unless Perry gets into the race. I think if Rick Perry enters the race, the media is going to go into overdrive.
They are, and part of me says shame on us if we let that worry us about him. If you take away rhetoric and look at accomplishments and characteristics and ability, there's just no doubt who's the most qualified.
Well, I say that because I'm hoping that's what he brings. I'm hoping that Rick Perry is our Newt Gingrich character, somebody that can somebody that can take the media on, can articulate the message and not back down and not be shamed or scared into doing it. Because these other candidates, they all seem to want to be walking so gently,
Yep, I agree. And one of the things that I've said about candidates is I really am wary of supporting someone who has not yet made a mistake, a public mistake, some kind of a major faux pas, because you don't know how they're going to deal with it, whether or not they're going to double down or acknowledge it. Mm-hmm. They have not learned how to cope with the media, and they're still too tentative, as you say. They're still shy about stuff. This is a man who's been through the fire. And with his oops moment and with the Gardasil thing, he's made mistakes. And if he still wants to continue, he is the one who's been tempered by that, and who will, I think, more than Romney, be willing to do what it takes in terms of taking, I don't mean in a negative, mudslinging or being dishonest, but just saying it like it is.
Yeah. And
because he's got nothing more to lose.
Yeah, he has shown the ability to weather the tide, and in more cases than not, come out smelling pretty good,
Really, really good. And his stance on Israel and his actions are second to none. All of Obama's not all, I shouldn't say all, but most of his major failures have been dealt with by Perry as governor of Texas, most notably the border and immigration.
Right. Well,
and he has been just steadfast on that, and his ability to articulate. And here's the other thing that I like about him so much, and I see this every time I've met him. He is humble, and I don't mean that in a cowering, shy way. He has humility and an appreciation for everybody who's contributed anything to make this country great. He's not, an all eyes on me. I'm your leader. I'm, not this narcissistic thing, but a deep, deep appreciation for our military, for everybody who does anything to help make this country what it is. And he sees himself as a public servant. It's clear. And that stance, that position, I think is what really can carry him. He said, I've been in public service all my life. He doesn't mean a politician. He means public service. He was in the military, and then he was on agricultural something. And his appreciation for what makes this country great, it's palpable. And he's got self-deprecating humor, which I think is a real plus. Also Reagan-esque. I think as far as the guy who should be in the White House.
Oh, outstanding. I got to interrupt you because we're out of time, my dear.
Oh my gosh, I just ramble on. Anyway, I do like him.
You're doing your own radio show now. You should know this by now. Time flies. It
does.
Yeah.
It certainly does.
Okay,
Thanks for having me today, and we'll be back to Monday next week.
Yeah, and go ahead and let people know how to get your show and your website.
Yes, right. Find us at rageagainstthemedia.org, on Facebook, Rage Against the Media. We're really stepping up Twitter now. I mean, we're really cooking at Media Rage, and my radio show is on WNJC 1360 Philadelphia and WNJC1360.com to listen live. So, got a lot going on.
Outstanding, my dear. Outstanding. I'll let you go, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Great, John.
All right.
Joe. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. God bless. Okay, guys, it's time for the Edwards Notebook, and then joining, and we'll pay some bills, and then we'll come back, and Ron Edwards will be joining us the second hour. So stay with us right here on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
While Christians are beheaded by Muslims and babies are murdered by misguided individuals of all stripes, the left is more concerned about cakes. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, recently Pope Francis solemnly stated that martyrs are more numerous today than they were in the first centuries of the Church. It is difficult to dispute the pontiff's claims considering the ongoing day in and day out murdering, raping, burning, crucifying, enslaving, and torturing of Christians by Muslims who claim they are right to do so because their little Quran instructs them to wipe out non-Muslims, enslave blacks, abuse women, and torture animals. Such actions continue non-stop around the world and have been perpetrated right here in America as well. But in the United